I feel like I'm filling a need. When you look at what people snack on, it's actually one of the biggest challenges in finding healthy foods, and especially in that on-the-go lifestyle, finding snacks that are high in fiber, won't spike your blood sugar, have protein, are going to keep you full. That's really, really hard to do. And I'm so proud to work with a company who actually prioritizes that.
Can you give us a little bit of a look as to what is today's, let's say, recommended diet? Because we know so much more.
Yeah, so it's actually quite scary when you look at the obesity and diabetes prevalence. And when the U.S. dietary guidelines came about back in the late 70s, early 80s, the advice to eat higher carbohydrate, lower fat diets just coincides so specifically with the rising rates of obesity and diabetes. The coincidence is too hard to ignore. Mm-hmm. And a lot of other scientists have looked at this and said, hey, this is a problem, because not only is it the fact that people are eating a lot more carbohydrates, they were very poor quality carbohydrates, low fiber carbohydrates that really do have that high glycemic load, which means they spike your blood sugar very quickly. And that contributed to a lot of obesity in this country. And one of the things to think about is that about 85% of cases of type 2 diabetes are thought to be driven by being overweight or obese. So that was a big driver in a lot of the health issues we have now in the United States. And actually, the U.S. dietary guidelines for Americans has been under a lot of scrutiny recently because of this. And people are starting to say, hey, the dietary guidelines are still pushing relatively high carbohydrate diets, somewhere between 45 and 65% of calories should be coming from carbohydrates, which might be fine for a population who is metabolically healthy. But we all know now that most people in the United States are not metabolically healthy. In fact, the last statistic I saw said about 12% of the US population is considered metabolically healthy. So we really have to start to tailor our dietary advice to be more specific to the needs of the U.S. population.